Thanks for joining me, you guys. Today's topic is one I've wanted to do for a while, and so I'm going to do it now. And it is about, should the mentally ill people, or people with a mental illness, be allowed to have guns, firearms? Now, I'm going to give you my opinion in a little bit, but I'd like to say that I'd like your opinion. And so please leave comments below. Be polite, respectful, so that we can have a conversation. But this is not about going into a battle or a debate. That's not what this video is about, and I don't want that to be part of the comments or topics. Anyway, I'd like to give you a little bit about my background to start with. I was raised by a father who was a gun fanatic. He was a gun collector. He was a hunter. He was a war veteran. And he loved his guns. And I grew up with guns. And I know how to use guns. So I just wanted to, put that out there to, start this whole idea of where my opinions are coming from. Unfortunately, in my opinion, and again, this video is just my opinion. I'm not stating any facts here. This is just my opinion. I do have bipolar disorder, and it's a serious form of bipolar disorder that also has psychotic features. Different types of mental illness have different features or characteristics that are part of their illness. Now, certainly, like bipolar, for instance, there's so many different types within that. But I'm more talking on a very general range of, for instance, bipolar versus depression versus borderline versus schizophrenia and so on. So I'm keeping it pretty broad. But in general, mental illness, it does take quite a bit of thought as to which type of people are most likely to carry out these devastating things, these shootings, mass shootings and things like that. Today, the world is so full, in my opinion, of zealots and racists and people that are just so angry and hateful. They're bigots, and it's just not a good time in general. Now, it's true that, if you take away a gun, a person could do, other things to kill people. That's completely true, and probably, sadly, will be true for a while. And I blame a lot of this on something we all love and rely on, and that is the internet and social media and the ability to have information at our fingertips. Stuff that, 20 years ago, it wouldn't have been that easy to locate something, to find something, to buy something, to learn how to do something. Now, all of a sudden, it is so available to everyone that it's an extremely dangerous time for our country. Now, I know that guns don't kill people without people using guns. I realize that. It takes a person to pull the trigger, and I am definitely not against people owning guns. Let's go into my opinion now and how I have come to these conclusions about why I think, a person with mental illness should or shouldn't have guns. Well, the first thing I would say is, as I mentioned before, there are several different types, many different types of mental illness, all with their own characteristics. And I'm in that group. I'm a person with mental illness. Do I myself have a gun? No. Now, here's the thing about saying that it's not fair for people with a mental illness not to have a gun. we with mental illness may, or probably, it's my opinion again, have a moment or a situation where things are not right, or we have a break, or we have a bad day, really bad day. And when you put those sums into the equation and then put a gun in the possibility, in my opinion, you're playing with fire. And personally, with my diagnosis, I am not harmful to anyone. You know, I'm super, and I've never had homicidal or dangerous dark thoughts to hurt anyone, you know. But I have had dark thoughts to hurt myself, and having a gun around would be really it's a no-go for me. It's just not worth taking the chance, because I have had psychotic features, and when you are in a psychotic break, in my case, you're not aware, you know, of reality. Reality breaks. And so the argument that, you know, people can control themselves, and that may be true, but those of us with mental illness always have times where things are not right. That's why we have a mental illness. That's why we're diagnosed with one. Now, you know, do I believe that, you know, everyone with mental illness should be banned from having a gun, or should it be more typecast? I believe everyone should be banned, because it's just too much of a risk. And I know there's going to be people that are going to say, well, then people will just go to, you know, making pipe bombs or this or that or the other. That argument may or may not be valid. I don't know. But I do know that, you know, changes need to be made. And a person that has a known mental illness, in my opinion, should not have a firearm. I also believe, and I won't go into deep topic about this, but having the public able to get, you know, assault rifles, which were and are designed for war, you know, with magazines and the ability to shoot an enormous amount of people in a short amount of time. The ability for people to have that now, I think, should be banned. I think there's no place for it. I'm not against the guns for people, but assault rifles, you know, on the street, no, it's not right. And I believe stopping assault rifles or bump stocks would definitely, you know, make a difference. My opinion on that. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about today, you guys. And tell me again, please share your thoughts, your feelings. Do you think it's right or wrong for people with mental illness to have guns? So thanks for joining me, you guys. See you next time.